Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly share of the Zera Shimshon. And it is, Erev Shabbos, almost. It's Leil Chamishi. And it's Ches. Actually, tonight is Ches Tammuz. Tavshin Pei Hey. And we're hoping for Mashiach any minute. Thinking about it. Anyway, there's a very interesting little piece here in the Zera Shimshon that I wanted to share with you because I've heard this from other people and I never saw it inside. So, Pasuk Zeis, this is Kapitel Daled. The Pasuk says, everybody famous Pasuk, Zeis HaTorah Adam Ki Yamus B'Oil. It's a Pasuk Yates and Yadaled. Okay. Makshim Lama Itzrich L'Michtav Zeis HaTorah. So everybody's asking, why do you have to say this is the Torah? And the rest of it is not the Torah? I don't get. But Adam ki yamos ba'oil chudei sagi. But the pasuk should have just said, when a person dies in the tent, that suffices. Well, what did Zeis HaTorah add? L'didan yuvan shaper. And according to us, it's understood really clear. B'mayda Amina b'Meseches Ksubas and Perek Yud Beis. Daf Kuf Gimel Amud Beis. There it says Kishameis Rabbi Batla Kedusha. Now this is the most important thing I want to share with you. And the Taisus writes, B'Shem HaRabbi, he says, I had it underlined as a matter of fact, Rabbi Chaim Kanievski says, now, you know, the Kohen is not allowed to go in the Beis HaKvaros, right? It's an Isa Deraisa according to him. However, Yalmali Haisi Kishinifta Rabbeinu Tam. If I would have been there when Rabbeinu Tam passed away, he says Haisi Metamelai, I would have contaminated myself to him. Now he doesn't mean actually contaminated, but we'll see in the Gemara. The High Batla Kedusha de Kamer Hacha. Because the fact that it says the Kedusha was nullified, it's Hainu Kedushas Kehuna, that the holiness of Kehuna was nullified. V'chein mucha k'lemekamen is Oisa Hayom Hashma, Oisa Hayom Dafka. At that day it was batal. And furthermore, nothing. Okay. I'm not going to go into the rest of it because it's a Taisus. Okay, you want to look at the Taisus? Look over there, Kuf Gimel Amud Beis. Now, but the interesting thing he takes off from here is a tangent. He says, the Kabatle Kedusha, the Gamre, the Kayin Haya Muter Loi Lihitami. In other words, what does he mean, Batla Kedusha? It was permitted completely for a kohen to contaminate himself to go to the burial. Aval ein nira leRebbe, but it doesn't seem to be that's Rebbe's opinion. The Dilma Dafka Betumas Beis HaPras, the Rabbanan. That's only referring to the Tumas Beis HaPras. Beis HaPras is a field that had a kever in there, and they plowed it over. So it's only a suffix. If he might touch etzim kisa'era, a small piece of boat, and then that contaminates him. But, well, that's only a suffix tuma. Okay, avat tuma deraisa loy ein sham. Okay, lechayra divrei Rabbeinu Chaim Kanievski nimukam imam. But he says he wants to be machriya that. It seems like Rabbi Chaim Kanievski, his words, his logic is with him. The fi mashik kasav hashach and the Torah in Parshat Chukas, and the pasuk in Bamidbar it says Hanagia b'meis lechol nefesh adam. Somebody who touches a mace, and any person, the ikar hatuma al hameis eina bo elam machmas shemesim al yedei malach hamavis. Get this. That people. The tumah of mace comes only to people who die from the Malach HaMavis. I don't know who else. Where else do people die? Okay, how else do people die? However, he says, but they're big tzaddikim that their souls go out with a kiss from God. Pi Hashem, kasher yachanu kain yiso, kain ein bohem shum tuma klal. The tzaddikim don't have any tuma. Allah Hasidim hold like this. Mishum hachi asi shaper batla kedushas akehuna gamri. Therefore, it goes very good that he says that the kedusha of kehuna was batla gamri, in reference to tzaddikim. Okay. Aval kad mi'ayninam be'shaper. If you look into it very closely, it's impossible to say that. Why? Shari mi lano gadol mi Yosef atzadik, shaloi nisasik by ella Moshe Rabbeinu. Right? So Moshe Rabbeinu was the one that gathered back the beer. I think he was put in the river, and he was brought up through Shemesh there. We won't go into that, but Moshe Rabbeinu, it went into his part of the machane. I mean, Moshe shalaka hatzmai Yosef gamrinan shehatami meis v'hameis atzmai mutarim b'machane levia. So we learned this of Mahalach in Gemara and Shlita, that the mace or the bones of the mace are permitted in the Machane Levia. And it's in Parak, like we said in Parak Gimel, the Shlita, Ayin Sham. Ve'iyal Marta Shat Tzadikim Eina Mitamim Heichi Gamrina Mi Yosef Shar Mesim. So how can we learn from Yosef to other dead people? Hala Yosef Hayat Tzadik. He was a Tzadik Gomer, right? Ve'loi Haya Mitame. So you can't impose his idea, his condition, which was he was a tzaddik gomer, to other cases of tuma. So you see from here that other tzaddikim are mitami. And furthermore, from the words of Rabbi Chaim, in the testifis there, it's from his words it's proven that the Kamar Shahakoyin Haya Mutter Loilehi Tameyaka, that the koyin is permitted to contaminate himself. The Shmamina Sheyesh Hatuma. The only reason he was able to contaminate himself to Rabbeinu Tam is because Rabbeinu Tam was a Tzaddik Gomer. The Hashash Lehavi Leila Memer Batla Kedusha Allah Adaraba Batla Hatuma. Okay. The Pirush Hashacha now, a time of the Rabbi Kamar. He's singing a really big reason. That others say that if you don't die for the Malach HaMavos, but Mises Neshika, then they don't contaminate. Truly, they don't contaminate. Because they were killed by a kiss. I don't know what that means, but anyway, it's not through the Malach HaMavos. That's what he means. But the pasuk doesn't want to distinguish between them. Because, one tzaddik might have not died that way because of previous Gilgulim for whatever reason, or not, who knows. And another tzaddik would have died from Mises Neshika. So we don't know. The Rebbe, Kol Bei Shimshi Asi the Beise. Well, when Rebbe died, it was a mice. He didn't really 100% die, because every Erev Shabbos, Leil Shabbos, he came home to make Kiddush for his wife. Good. Figure that one out. V'su lo yasa, and Kedesha lo yihai ha'hesi laza, that's it. So at one point the people found out about it, and then he stopped coming because he didn't want to make the bad name for other earlier tzaddikim, that they didn't come home to make kiddush for their wives after they're dead. It says, Zois Torah ha'oila, Torah sa'oila, Torah achas l'kol ha'oilim. So this is what he means. Zois Torah sa'oila. This is the Torah of those who elevate and they bring a carbon oila. It's Torah achas l'kol ha'oilim. It's one Torah for all those who are elevated. Afilo psulim. She'im olu lo yardu. Even those that are puzzled, because if they went up, they don't go down. Kimoi Shapirish Rashi Sham Shekasu Zeis Torah Sa'oila Lefisha Hasvara Haisa Neisena Shapsulim Yarda. So normally you would think, well, if you were puzzled, you're not going to stay up there. You know, to make an elevated level in your Yiddishkeit is not complete until you're able to stay up there. But if you're not so holy, you're going to come down. Afkan kasu zaysatera adam kiyamis ba'ayah yitameh mishivas yamim. So he'll be contaminated 7 days. Claimer, Torah achas l'kol ha'meisim. It's one Torah that was applicable to all those who died. Shitamu. They contaminate. Afapi sheyesh bohem tzadikim. Even though there's among those that are very righteous, shehaswara naisena shelo yitamu, that it would be logical to say they don't contaminate, but chein hu lefi ha'emes, v'hayil v'shiyatza nishmasam b'neshika. That would be true because they died b'neshika. Ein tuma bohem, and there's no tuma. Afilo hachi hanagia bohem yitma. Still, in all, comes to the conclusion that if you touch this tzaddik, you become contaminated. Okay, sorry to blow everybody's bubble in that one. Okay, everybody have a wonderful Shabbos. Parshat Chukas. Okay, Torah is emes.
קצת הסבר עלינו, שתי הלחם זה למעשה הלחם היחיד כמעט בבית המקדש שהוא חמץ. שימו לב לצורתו מיוחדת, אם העומר בא מסעורים והעומר היה מצה ולא חמץ, שתי הלחם לא עולה על המזבח, הוא דומה בצורתו מעט ללחם הפנים, חייבים בדרך שהוא חמץ כמו מחמצת. העוזר של הפעמים, אולי אחד הפעמים, אתה יכול רגע להעביר לנו לחם אחד ושוב נראה, בזהירות